Welcome back to A Thoughts Journey. Today we're going to talk about creating a village and how everyone wants to be a villager, or everyone wants to have a village, but nobody wants to be a villager. And it's also piggybacking off my last video talking about friendship and how low maintenance friendships are bad friendships. But I do want to talk about this a little bit separately because I do feel like it's a little bit separate of an idea. If you're new here, welcome back to Thoughts Journey. My name is Farron, and I create this channel to, one, have community and to express myself, but two, I really wanted to create a space where everything that I know can be shared. I wish that people would have shared a lot of the information that I share, so you can go back on my playlists or my past videos. That's what this channel really is about, just sharing my life. But today we're going to talk about the village, and I'm just going to come right out and say it. And if you are not new to my channel, you know that I talk a lot about people being selfish, but once again, people have become incredibly selfish. And once again, this was a video that I was hesitant about making because it is a hard time, but more and more I see less empathy, less people able to understand nuance, which is absolutely nuts to me. Everything is one or the other. And then this extraordinarily selfish world point of view until it affects you. And then it's like, I'll give empathy, I'll give love, but not really. I'm only able to take, but then not even that. And so I want to talk about, one, a little bit about my feelings about that, but two, how to start creating a village. I said in my last video that life is incredibly simple. It is not necessarily complex. We make it complex. It's very easy. If you want, I've seen some people talk about creating third spaces or the lack of third spaces, and I go, it's really as simple as I want a village, and then start being friends with people, and then start making that intention known. Hey, I want to create a village, and you look for like-minded people, meaning you walk around with your hand open or your intention open to say, this is what I would like. And then from that point on, you work on becoming that yourself, or allowing yourself the behaviors that naturally go with that. So a lot of times you may find yourself restricting because I don't want to give because I don't want to be taken advantage of. Trust yourself with that. But there are times when you naturally want to give, or you naturally want to show up kindly, or you naturally, especially when you're out in the grocery store or somewhere else where you naturally want to be extraordinarily gracious, and you're not letting yourself because of the fear of the perception of what is going to happen. You have to trust yourself when your body says, I think this is the best way to move in this moment, to move with that. That is a layer of growth that you must go through. But that is how you build a village. It's just as simple as that. Just people coming together and deciding to be there for each other. You have people all around you, your neighbors, when you go to work, the people that you drive by, the people you go to the store with. There are people all around. You just have to trust yourself with making that choice and set that intention, because enough people making that intention will create a village. Now, on the everybody wants, the people who want the village but don't want to be a villager, which I see, I don't have time, I'm married, but you want to take the labor and the emotions of other. Shame on you. Shame on you. We were created for community. We were created for reciprocity. This super selfish way. This is my money. I work for it. Everybody has had a hands up, including myself. Even if you're at the lowest of low, at some point, somebody helped you with something. The fact of where you were born, even if it's the fact that 2 generations prior, your family came wherever they came from to where you are now to give you the opportunities, even if it's the fact that you went to school and had the friends that you had to give you the knowledge of the opportunities that you took. Yes, we all work hard. Yes, we all do our own thing, but we were created to be codependent on each other in a healthy way. The idea that you versus me is absolutely ludicrous. I say, if you want to have that worldview, just know you will be very lonely, and you will have to handle life completely on your own. So do not expect help. Do not expect reciprocity. Do not expect that. This idea of whining because nobody's doing X, Y, Z when you yourself aren't doing that. You yourself aren't empathetic. You walk past people and don't even care. I really have no more words. Especially, I did a video on the food stamps and EBT they were getting rid of it at the time, and the amount of lack of empathy. And I'm like, we are all regular folks. We are all real close to there. One car crash, one food emergency, one childcare issue, like, and you're there. And the fact that I have to say that was absolutely nauseating, to see the lack of empathy in the comments. And I was really disappointed by we'll go to work. I'm like, wow, you have no nuance because you don't know that most of those people do work. That is ridiculous. And in this season, I will say this, in this season, there is a separation of timeline, which is why I'm speaking so brashly. This is a reaping season. So what is going to happen is a new reality, as people are getting tired of this, myself included, is emerging, where we're all going, hey, we don't like this. We want to create a new reality. We want to create a new environment. And those of us who've already been doing the work for a long time are going to start seeing the rewards of that. However, if you are intending upon continuing like the way that you are, and being entitled and being nasty and being selfish and not getting on this new timeline, you will not see the reciprocity of it. And this is what I was talking about in other videos of the rising and the falling, where you will start to see the people who were previously at the bottom rise, the top people at the top rise, go seek to the bottom, because the previous timeline was allowed for that hacking of the system, for people to kind of manipulate and be nasty and reach the top. But that's going to fall. The people that were at the bottom will be at the top, because that is the energy, that love, that connection, that giving, that lightness, that joy is going to be pertinent in this season. So just know, if you choose to not be a villager, right, which is an attitude, it's an energy, then you will receive the energy back that you gave out. But those of you who want to be a villager and are struggling because you have mental health issues, or you want to, the intention is enough, and you'll begin to find ways that you already are doing it. It just may not look how you're thinking it is. So give yourself a little grace and walk day by day with that, and carry that intention in mind, and see how every day you can show up for someone else. And then the other part is allowing people to show up for you, because that's probably the part that's really wearing you out. Start trying to get away from environments that tire you out, that make you feel like you are not having the connection that you need. Really start trying to make that decision. Even if it's just, I'm not going to go to this location of the store today, I'm going to go to this location because it makes me feel better. That will increase your energy so that you can be more giving, because you naturally already are. You just have to remove the barriers or the blinders to whatever that is. Until next time, see you later. Bye.